Now, you've probably heard about folks like Wyatt Earp, Jesse James, Doc Holliday, and Wild Bill Hickok. Legends of the frontier whose stories are known all over the world. The Old West is full of tales about courageous men and women who helped shape the country. But this isn't another tall tale about some make-believe, pistol-packing paragon of justice wandering the territory looking for another wrong to right. No, the story you're about to hear is about three men who are by no means saints, but often found themselves in aid of those who could not stand up for themselves. Brave and often ruthless men who traversed the territories, leaving a trail of death in their wake. This is the story of three brothers. This is the legend of the Brothers Floater.
Well, that tears it. We're breaking camp and heading for Armadillo right now.
Good morning, Phil.
Fuck off!
I suppose that you somehow managed to find another sharp rock on an otherwise pleasant patch of earth to sleep on again?
I moved my fucking bedroll twice last night, and I swear the goddamn thing followed me. Pack it up, boys. I want to sleep in a decent fucking bed for a while. Hurry it up now. Fart! Fart, goddamn it, wake up!
Don't you want some coffee at least?
Yes, I want some fucking coffee. After that, we're breaking camp and heading to Armadillo.
What about breakfast? I guess we still got some of that pheasant. Frank started cooking bacon.
All right. We'll have some fucking coffee and bacon, and then we're heading to fucking Armadillo. We still got a few weeks before McFarland's expecting us, so let's say we get a few rooms and sleep in proper beds for a bit. Is that okay with you two?
Friends, anyone who's ever slept out of doors knows how irritating it can be when you get all settled for the night and find that particular patch of ground you made your bed on proves to be less than comfortable. Now, the last time you might have heard about the Brothers Floater, we had left Tumbleweed after a rather unfortunate incident wherein we dealt with a band of outlaws terrorizing the town. At the end of that particular conflict, it was discovered that one of the bandits was a young man that we were all rather fond of. We left Tumbleweed, each of us grieving in our own way, trying to come to terms with what had happened. In the weeks that followed, we spent a lot of nights out under the stars, and Phil, somehow, always seemed to manage to find the worst spot to make his bed on. Now, it could just be a coincidence, or it might be that the good Lord was punishing Phil for his wickedness. Or it could be one of Phil's younger siblings loves nothing more than needling his older brother to satisfy some sort of twisted hunger that only he understands. Whatever the reason, it's made Phil rather bothersome to deal with.
I'm going to have my morning constitutional. When I get back, we'll have breakfast, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. So start breaking camp.
Art.
No! He ain't figured it out yet. I'm gonna keep putting rocks under his bedroll. Serves him right for badgering me all that time. And don't you forget, you ain't seen nothing.
That's right, Fart. I haven't seen a goddamn thing.
Damn right you haven't. And all the whiskey? Plus, think about all the fun we'll have. With all the card games we can get into, and horseshoes, and all that fine whiskey. Plus, we might even get to enjoy a bit of pleasurable company, if you catch my meaning. And then there's the whiskey.
Jesus fucking Christ, Fart. Enough about the whiskey.
Can't help it. For fuck's sake, Phil, when was the last time we was in a place where we got ourselves a proper rest in a place that didn't water down their liquor? This is exciting.
He ain't wrong, big brother. Armadillo's pretty generous with their spirits, and the food's real good, too. Except, of course, that time they had oysters. Don't know what they were thinking. Whole town ended up with the trots. It was a goddamn epidemic for a while.
Ugh, don't remind me.
Not to change the subject.
Please. by all means, change the subject.
You think it's going to be a good run with McFarland this year? Last year's run set us up pretty good for a while.
That's hard to say. A lot of it'll depend on how big his herd got and how the markets are. Regardless, I think we're going to be working harder this year. I suspect them rustlers we ran off last year spent their time planning and hiring more help. I think it's a good idea for us to be prepared for anything. I'll talk with McFarland and run a few ideas by him before we leave, but we're going to make sure that every single one of our weapons is clean and in proper working order. Fart, that'll be your chore.
No, don't you worry none, Phil. I'll make every gun we have so shiny you'll swear it was brand new.
That's why I want you taking care of it, little brother.
You got any ideas on what we do after the cattle run?
Not yet, but I'm also really fucking tired, and it's harder to plan anything up when I haven't had proper rest. Once I've had a few good nights' sleep in town, then I'll be able to give it a proper think. Fort?
Okay, now how are you gonna sit there looking at me like I done something when both of my pistols are still at my hips? Untrusting, that's what you are, Phil. Untrusting.
It came from over that way. Sounds like someone's in trouble. Should we see if we can help?
Yeah, suppose we better. Yeah! See if you can help the wounded, Fort! Let's take those bastards out! You picked the wrong fucking day, bedwetters!
Get back here, you fucking coward!
Fart, let him go.
But I can get him!
I'm sure you'll get your chance later. Come on, them folks need our help.
Phil! We gotta get these folks to Armadillo fast. This one's bleeding out.
Shit. Fart, you take Bailey and Huerte and follow us. Everyone get into the stage. Frank, do what you can to keep them alive. I'll get this stagecoach back on the trail.
Sheriff! Here comes the stagecoach.
It's about fucking time. My new deputy was supposed to be on that coach. They better have a good reason why they're so late.
Look out! Everybody get back! Fart! Go fetch the doctor. Bring him back here, quick as you can.
I'll be lightning quick. Yeah!
You! Give me a hand with these folks.
What the hell happened?
I ain't sure. We heard gunshots and went to find out what was happening. Found a couple of fucking milk drinkers shooting at the coach. This way, ma'am. You go sit right over there. We got a doctor coming. Anyway, we saw the driver had been killed, so me and my brothers tried to kill the bandits, but they ran off. My other brother tried to help these folks, but...
Bless you, sir. Bless you for saving us.
It's my honor, ma'am. You just sit there. Help's coming.
Phil, we're too late.
God damn it.
That man was supposed to be my new deputy.
I'm sorry, sir. He gave his life protecting them folk. Can't think anything more honorable than that.
That's why I hired him. I want to thank you boys. You didn't have to help, and you did. Save these people from certain death.
Maybe if we'd been a little quicker.
I got the doctor!
It's too late. Should have sent you for the undertaker.
Sorry, Phil. Thought I was fast enough.
Ain't your fault, little brother.
I don't mean to be rude here, but you wouldn't happen to be the brothers Floater, would you?
What if we are?
You can take your hands off your guns. I ain't here to arrest you. Way I see it, you did me a service bringing these folks to town. I won't be lying awake at night, wondering what happened to my deputy. How long you plan to stay in Armadillo?
A few weeks, at least. We got work up north, but that ain't for a bit. Thought we might stay in town for a spell, get rested, and fed up before moving on.
Well, you're welcome to stay as long as you like. I only ask that you follow the law. I know your reputation, and I take it as kindness if you behave yourselves, so I don't have to lock you up.
Sir, I promise you that our reputation is somewhat exaggerated, but we'll behave ourselves nonetheless. Ain't that right, Art?
On my honor, sir.
I appreciate that. You can stable your horses round the way. And just tell old Smitty in the saloon that you're my guest. He'll give you a special rate.
Thank you, Sheriff. Come on, boys. There's nothing more we can do to help here.
Phil, we should have gone after them fellers. I don't feel right letting them roam free after what they done. I'll wager they got a camp nearby. Bet we could find it
I appreciate your enthusiasm, Fart, but we'd have to ride all the way back to Mercer Station and hope we could pick up their trail. Even if they did have a camp, chances are they're long gone by now.
But Phil, what if them boys got a bounty on them or something?
You know, it wouldn't be too hard to go back and track them, Phil. Having some extra money wouldn't be bad, especially since we're planning on laying about for a bit.
Yeah, but being as how we have no idea who that was, we don't know if it's really worth the time. Going all the way back to Mercer Station to try to pick up a trail that's gone cold don't seem smart to me. I think for the time being, we use this opportunity to rest and relax before we go help McFarland. Now, if we hear anything more about it, maybe we can look into it. But for now, I think it's best if we rest here a spell. Sound good, boys?
Well, I like it. Soft beds and as much steak and eggs as we can eat, that sounds like heaven to me.
What about the whiskey? You gonna let us have whiskey, Phil? As much as we want?
Now, we just gave that sheriff our word that we'd behave ourselves, so as long as you don't cause any problems, I will let you have as much whiskey as you want. But the moment you even think about drawing down on someone for no reason, I will personally march you to that man's jail, and you'll stay there until we leave. You got it?
What if someone's really asking for it?
Don't go testing me, Fart.
Oh, don't get your britches in a knot. I'm only joking with you, big brother. I'm with Frank. Food, whiskey, and good beds. That's too good to pass up on. Hey, what about pleasurable company? Can I do as much of that as I want to?
Oh, for fuck's... Would you just get on your fucking horse so we can get them stabled?
Look at that, boys. $20, not a single scratch. I told you I was getting better at five-finger flag.
Well, I honestly can't believe it. You usually cut yourself pretty good when we play.
Well, them fellers over there ain't nearly as fast as you, Frank, so that made it a little easier.
Only thing I've ever seen you move faster than that knife is your mouth. Now, don't want you to get in a big head over this, but I'm proud of you, little brother. You did good. In fact, I'm so proud, I'm gonna let you buy the first couple of rounds.
Yeah, it'd be my pleasure. Come on, Frank. Frank? Frank.
Frank, you all right there?
Don't you boys smell it? It's intoxicating.
Now, you talking about the horse shit, or is that piss I smell?
No, it ain't that. It's like cinnamon and roses with just a hint of vanilla. It's like nothing I've ever smelt before.
Oh, well, maybe you ought to track it down and let us know what you find.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll find you boys later.
What's got his dander up?
Well, if I had to guess, I'd say Frank caught the scent of something fair and fetching.
Is that like a kind of bird?
What?
Fair and fletchling? Is that a bird?
No, you it. Fair and fetching means he smells a pretty lady.
Well, why didn't you just say that then?
Fuck's sake, get in there and buy some whiskey.
All right.
Pardon me, sir. Oh, hell. Why don't they get someone to keep the streets clear of all this horse shit? I could probably hire some fucking kids to do it. And with penny candy or something. Wait. Excuse me, ma'am? Ma'am!
Please be on your way, sir. I've got no time to waste on pathetic advances of simple-minded men whose only wish is to see me in their bed. Good day.
Well, then it's a good thing I can't do that.
What?
See you in bed.
Now, see here, mister. I don't care for your... Oh.
Quite honestly, I'd be very pleased to see here, miss.
I apologize, sir. I didn't...
No. Allow me to apologize. I don't mean to trouble you, miss, and I don't mean to keep you from whatever errand you're on, but I just have to know what that delightful fragrance is that you're wearing. I've never smelt its like before today, and I found it most intoxicating.
Well, I thank you for the compliment, sir. It was a gift, and I'm not sure what it's called or where it was purchased.
Well, it truly is a beautiful fragrance, if it's not too bold to say. Forgive my manners. My name is Francis Floater. Frank, if you please.
Sarah Haynes.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Miss Sarah.
I've not seen you around before. What brings you to Armadillo, Mr. Floater?
Please, call me Frank. Me and my brothers came in with the afternoon stage, and, well, we're intending to stay in town for a spell. We've been on the move for some time, and figured we'd have ourselves a rest before we head up to Hennigan's stead.
What's in Hennigan's stead?
An old friend has some cattle he needs our help in moving. It ain't glamorous work, but at least it's honest.
Begging your pardon, but I believe I've heard of the brothers Floater before, and I don't recall any story where honest work was involved.
Well, you shouldn't believe every story you hear, Miss Sarah. People have a tendency to exaggerate things, and over time and many retellings, a story can grow so that a person can't really tell what's true and what's made up.
Of course, you're correct.
The truth is, Miss Sarah, is that we ain't always the heroes, but we always try to be on the side of right. And sometimes being on the side of right forces a man to do bad things, if you understand my meaning.
That is very admirable. From now on, when I hear tales of you and your brothers, I will try to imagine that you fought for what was right.
Well, I would appreciate that. May I inquire as to where you're from originally?
What makes you think I'm not from Armadillo?
Forgive me, but you speak a bit more politely than folks around the territories tend to, and, well, if I had to guess, I'd say you'd hailed from a more metropolitan area.
I'm impressed. I'm from New York originally. We moved out here a little over a month ago.
You and your husband?
Oh, no, I'm not married. It's just me and my mother.
Interesting.
How so?
It's just that, well, that is to say that well, it would be improper of me to be speaking to you if you had a husband. If I may, why did you and your mother decide to leave the big city for an armpit town like Armadillo?
Would you care to walk with me, Frank?
I would be most delighted, though you'll have to lead the way.
I think I'm capable. To answer your question, my mother decided she had quite enough of the city. Despite what you may have heard, New York is quite a foul place, especially if you aren't of the upper crust. There isn't much in the way of opportunity, and it's rather difficult to scratch out a living. My father dreamt of opening his own store one day, but was killed in an alley after playing dice with some rather unsavory people. He died face down in a puddle of mud and urine. After he died, my mother became obsessed with opening the store as a way to honor him. She scraped up and saved, and when we had enough, she brought us out here.
Well, forgive me for saying so, but it seems like you might have more success if you've gone someplace that didn't already have a general store. Seems like it might be more difficult to find success here.
I've mentioned that on more than one occasion, I assure you. But my mother can be very stubborn. She also thinks that if we carry more variety and more product, we will be just fine.
Well, it's nice that she's confident.
Mother's been communicating with some very important suppliers and says that she'll be able to offer better quality goods for cheaper than Mr. Hopper. She also believes that we'll have more reliable deliveries to keep our stock fresh and make us more dependable to the town.
She could also earn the ire of her competitor. In my experience, men can become pretty territorial and protective of their livelihoods. You know, I've even heard of men going so far as to burn down the property of another just because they felt they'd been slighted in some manner. Now, if I may suggest, you may consider asking this Mr. Hopper about the things he has trouble getting or things he doesn't bother carrying in his store and focus on having those things. At least then there's not so much direct competition.
You certainly seem to be able to see a great deal for someone who's...
Blind?
Well, I wasn't going to put it so bluntly, but yes.
Well, you don't need eyes to see how the world works. You just need to listen to people. Not just what they say, but how they say it. You know, it's amazing what people will tell you when they believe that you're somewhat helpless and non-threatening.
Isn't it just? If I may say, you seem to be moving quite well, as if you don't really need my assistance. Not to mention the fact you managed to find me from just the scent of my perfume. It's rather impressive.
My brother calls it God's concession to taking my sight. It's somewhat difficult to explain, but the things I hear and smell sort of form a painting in my head, and I can sort of navigate my way through it. For instance, I know that right now we're passing the newspaper man's office.
And how do you know that?
Well, I can smell the ink and paper, and I can hear him speaking to someone regarding an auction next week.
Fascinating. What else?
Well, there's 4 horses hitched to a wagon just up yonder, and if I'm not much mistaken, it's in front of the doctor's office. He's currently mixing some herbs and camphor together, and it's a rather pungent mixture.
That is amazing. Truly a blessing from God.
I suppose one could look at it that way. Then again, I do have a tendency to trip over things, run into walls on occasion, and far too often I step into animal droppings.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at your misfortune.
Why not? I do it all the time. The good Lord does have himself a sense of humor after all.
So he does. I have to admit, I find myself a little impressed with you, sir.
Only a little?
Well, we only just met, after all.
Then I shall endeavor to earn your favor. If I may, I'd like to know when your store is going to open so I can be the first customer.
Well, I'm not sure. As I said, things haven't been easy since we arrived. I had to take a job at the saloon there. It isn't much, but it's kept a roof over our heads and food in our belly.
But if you have money to open a store...
I mentioned my mother's a stubborn woman. We had gathered a nice amount of money to open the store, but we hadn't anticipated having to build it when we got here. Well, the money we have is just enough to cover the building costs and some other expenses, but we didn't have money for room and board. My mother said she'd need all her time to focus on getting the store built, so it felt to me to provide money for everything else. Lucky for me, Mr. Colton needed help. It's allowed me to get to know some of our potential customers, and that's helped my mother in figuring out what she needs in order to order for the store.
Sarah! Get over here, girl! Now!
My apologies, Frank, but it seems that my mother needs me at home.
No apologies are necessary, Miss Sarah. It was an honor to share a walk with you today, and I do hope our paths cross again.
I would like that very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Floater.
Miss Sarah Haynes. Well. Ah, shit.
Hey, there he is. Hey, Frank, I got you a whiskey. Somebody drank it.
Someone who looks a lot like Fart. So we got you another one, but somebody drank that one too.
Was it Fart again?
No, that was me. Figured maybe we should just wait until you got here to order you another one.
Well, I appreciate it.
Made you a sandwich. Thought you'd be hungry. It's ham.
Thank you. I am quite famished.
Well, go on then. Tell us about her.
You're assuming it was a lady? You know, it could have just been a wondrous fragrance from a perfume shop.
A perfume shop would not have put that stupid shit-eating grin on your face, little brother. And the last few times you've had that look, we've had to cause a bit of violence with a rather perturbed brother or father who didn't take kindly to you taking that lady's virtue.
Oh, yeah. Remember that rather uptight lady with the red curls? The one he met when he was working for Holcomb. Frank acted all educated and proper and then got her undressed in the livery. What the hell was her name? Oh, Maxine!
Yep. He had her down to her corset and stockings when her brother found them in the hay. Oh, and let's not forget Miss Candace down El Paso way. Her father found you both in the outhouse, as I recall. Tried to shoot your manhood off, ended up putting a bullet in his daughter's left cheek.
Hey, what about that pretty little Mexican gal you met while we was looking for Phil?
Do I need to remind you of the number one rule here?
We don't talk about Mexico.
That is right.
Well, I wasn't talking about Mexico. I was talking about the pretty little senorita that Frank got all goofy over while we was in Mexico. It's totally different.
Fucking close enough.
All right. So I maybe get a little out of sorts when it comes to the fair sex, but I ain't the only one.
Ain't no one said you was. I know I get all fuzzy in the head and go all gooey when I'm around a lady that I fancy. We all get the same stupid grin on our face and stumble over our words and whatnot.
I ain't never done nothing like that.
Don't you worry. It'll happen to you too. Just ain't met the right lady yet.
Not if I can help it. I want to look like a complete and utter idiot like you two.
Well, you gonna keep us in suspense here, or at least tell her name? Hey, Barkeep! Another round if you please.
Miss Sarah Haynes. She had the sweetest voice, like an angel, and the softest hands. She practically glided alongside me as we walked, and that fragrance, truly enchanting. I tell you, boys, I don't believe I will ever meet a woman finer, and that's the truth.
Hey, Phil. What you reckon the odds she looked like she fell from the ugly tree and hit her base on every branch on the way down?
Laugh all you want, boys, but if she walked through those doors right now and made me choose between a life with you two or a life with her, well, it's been nice knowing you, and I'll think of you often.
We'd be happy to be rid of you.
Ain't that the truth? Boys, a toast to Frank, finding the love of his life. Again.
To Frank and Miss Sarah.
All right, enough of this. What's our plan here, Phil?
Well, you were out planning your wedding to Miss Sarah Haynes. I got us rooms for the month. Figured we can take it easy for a bit, get cleaned up and resupplied. In the morning, I'll send a letter to John McFarland letting him know we'll be up his way in time to drive his herd to market.
And what about after that? We're gonna head back over to Three Sisters and see if Maggie's got anything for us?
We'll see. Might check in with the judge in San Ynez. Been a minute since the fiasco on the riverboat, and he might have a lead on that shitheel sheriff. In the meantime, I say we take it easy. Play some cards, eat, drink, and be merry for a spell. Maybe Frank can spend some time with his new lady friend.
And I can spend more time with all my special ladies at the brothel.
I'll drink to that.
It's gonna be a great month, boys. Oh, shit.
No, seriously, you all right?
The Legend of the Brothers Floater, Episode 12, Armadillo. Directed by Travis Box. Written and produced by James Robinson. Story by James Robinson, Travis Box, and Danny Hedham. Characters created by James Robinson, Travis Box, and Danny Hedham. Music by Danny Hedham. Featuring the voice talents of Travis Box, Danny Hedham, James Robinson, Kyra Orr, Stephen Fisher, Miguel Flores, and Madison Matthews. The Legend of the Brothers Floater is a Not Another podcast production.